Today, we're going to see whether or not a keyboard can justify costing roughly as much as a kidney. Although, what does a kidney go for on the black market? Like 20 grand? So I think if somebody offers you a keyboard for your kidney on the dark web, it's probably a bad deal. The other day, Corsair reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to try their new K95 Platinum XT keyboard. Now, I was obviously really excited because I love Corsair peripherals. I think the M65 Pro is one of the best mice I've ever used, and I have a K70 that I've been using for a while, and I love that keyboard. There is, however, one small problem that I have with this keyboard, and it's the fact that it costs $200 US. Now, I'm pretty cheap when it comes to peripherals. The only reason that I own a K70 is because it's a previous generation model that I bought on a clearance sale. So that means I'm pretty skeptical of a $200 keyboard. So let's see whether or not the K95 Platinum XT actually justifies that cost. So let's have a look at the keyboard and see what you get for 200 clams. My first impression when picking up the box was, whoa, this is a really heavy keyboard box. And then when you take the keyboard out of the box, you realize that all of that weight is the keyboard. It is the heaviest keyboard I've ever felt, and it's very sturdy and very solid. I think a lot of that has to do with the brushed aluminium top plate, and that's actually one of the reasons why I really like Corsair keyboards, because that brushed aluminium just makes it feel very sturdy and very solid. It's the same with the K70, just kind of on steroids. It does feel sturdier than that keyboard. The keyboard also has the most ridiculous USB cord I've ever seen. You could probably use it to string up a suspension bridge. And then near the end of the cable, it has this splitter thing which breaks off into two USB cables. One of them is to power the keyboard and the other one is an actual pass-through. Now, in moving over to the actual switches that the keyboard uses, they use Cherry MX Speed Silver switches, which is like a revised version of the Speed switch, and it is very nice. I'm personally partial to Cherry MX Red switches, but these Speed switches feel really nice. They're very quiet and they actuate very easily, and supposedly they're very durable. One thing that I would say about them is that they take a bit of getting used to, because sometimes they actuate too easily and you'll like accidentally press a button, but I got used to that and that wasn't an issue anymore. Another slight issue that I had with just the ergonomics of the keyboard is because of those extra 6 macro keys on the side. Initially, it was quite difficult for me to find my correct placing on the keyboard without looking, so while using like spell combinations and stuff in Dota, I sometimes lost my place. The thing is though, it comes with replacement keycaps, which are textured differently and also have a different angle to the other keys, and once I put those in, it actually made it a lot easier to find my place without looking. One of the ways in which the XT is different from the normal version of the K95 Platinum is that it has PBT double shot keycaps. And these keycaps are really nice. They're very solid and they've got a really nice texture to them. Compared to the keycaps on the K70, they feel way better and a lot more premium. And it adds to a very premium feel on the keyboard. Honestly, this keyboard is so solid. When you're busy gaming or typing, it kind of feels like it's part of your desk. It's really difficult to kind of move it around. Another way in which they upgraded the XT over the previous version of the K95 Platinum is those macro keys on the side of the keyboard now actually has Elgato Stream Deck functionality built in, which is pretty cool. It's like a mini Stream Deck in your keyboard. I don't use things that fancy when I stream, but I should probably check it out. In my opinion, a minimum requirement for a keyboard is a volume wheel, because it just means that you don't have to worry about software volume control in games and for music and stuff like that. And the K95 Platinum XT has a really nice volume wheel. It's fairly well dampened and it feels a lot better than the one on the K70. The keyboard also has media keys, so if you listen to music while gaming, that's very convenient. And then it also has a couple of programmable backlight keys, so the one kind of changes the brightness and you can also switch it off with that, and then you can switch between a couple user-defined preset profiles. So if you want to change your lighting on the fly, you can do that for whatever reason. On the note of the actual RGB implementation on this keyboard, It is beautiful. The lighting on this keyboard looks really nice, and it glows really nicely through those really high quality keycaps. Now finally, when it comes to build quality and ergonomics, there's one feature on this keyboard which is a complete game changer in my opinion. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's really epic. Now, I don't really like wrist rests on keyboards. I feel that they're usually very plasticky and they're just another point of failure. I never bother with them. In fact, when I was testing out this keyboard, for the first week and a half, I didn't even bother looking at the wrist rest because, yeah, I never used them. But then I thought to myself, I'm reviewing this keyboard, so I should check out all of its features. And the wrist rest is one of the XT exclusive upgrades with the Platinum series. And when I attached that wrist rest, the keyboard went from being great to being really epic. It's this soft, plush, pleatherette kind of material, which kind of makes it feel like you have a really comfortable little pillow under your hand, and it's so nice. I didn't ever think a wrist rest could make that big a difference in the overall perception of just amazing comfort and build quality on a keyboard. So let's quickly summarize the build quality and the user experience of this keyboard. Do I think that it feels like a $200 product? Now, I was quite skeptical initially for two reasons. The first one is I thought it was just gonna kind of be a K70 with like extra lighting and some macro keys, and in my opinion, that wouldn't have been worth $200. And another reason I was skeptical is because $200 is quite a boutique keyboard price, and you get some very well-made mechanical keyboards for $200 off of websites like Massdrop and stuff. So in my opinion, if I was using this keyboard and only later did Corsair tell me they were gonna charge $200 for it, I'd kind of understand, I'd get it, I genuinely would. It feels like a $200 product to me. Now that we've established that this keyboard is really awesome, we need to discuss whether or not you should even care about a keyboard this over-engineered. This is a pretty difficult question to answer because, in my opinion, a keyboard is the peripheral that has the smallest direct impact on your gaming performance. A better headset and a better mouse and even a high refresh rate monitor can potentially give you a competitive edge, whereas a better keyboard, even in games like Dota, where you have to use a lot of different key combinations to get like proper spell usage and item usage down, a better keyboard isn't gonna make that happen more easily. However, interacting with this keyboard is really nice, so it does have a better just overall user experience. Another way to look at it though is this keyboard is built to last. Those new switches are rated for 100 million actuations. Like, you can't help but feel like Dr. Evil saying that number. 100 million actuations. Not only that, but buying a set of PBT double shot keycaps for another mechanical keyboard is expensive, and this keyboard comes with them. It's also got like a built-in Elgato Stream Deck-esque functionality. Like, it's not a keyboard that's gonna last you for a very long time. In the end of the day, I think it comes down to the user. Some people don't care that much about the build quality of their peripherals and will recoil at the idea of a $200 keyboard. Whereas other people will not really care about the price, just as long as it's well built, whatever, $200 is $200. But for what it's worth, I used to fall in the camp of $200 for a keyboard, but this K95 Platinum XT has kind of changed my mind. Like, I think it's worth it. With that, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Follow me on whatever social media you prefer. I have them all linked in the description below. And until the next video, bye-bye.